Welcome back to my channel, the best place for new signers, intermediate signers, and struggling signers. In today's video, we're going to do a fun fingerspelling practice activity. This is especially useful if you have if there's some tricky letters, or when you're fingerspelling words, you have a hard time moving your hand from one letter to the next. Like it feels like it gets stuck, or you're like, what the heck? And you have to really think about it, or it's really slow or clunky. So check out this super fast practice activity that you can do anywhere, anytime, as many times as you wish, and it has really good results. Have you ever had that when you're fingerspelling and like you just feel like you're like running in 2 feet of water, like at the beach, but it's like your hands and you're like, I can't move it. It just feels really tricky or stumbly or awkward, and it's really slow, and you're like, I just want to be a faster signer. Or you've just been fingerspelling a lot. Maybe there's not any tricky letters per se, but you're having a hard time getting faster, smoother at your fingerspelling. Then this is a perfect practice activity for you to do, and it's really nice, super easy, and I'll explain it in like 60 seconds. I'll do my best. Before you do the practice activity, I want you to warm up your hands. So let's warm up your hands together. So let's do spaghetti noodles. So we're gonna link your fingers together like this and do spaghetti noodles this way, and then go the opposite way. Okay. Now put your elbows together like this, clasp your hands, and do meatball. So you're going around in a circle. Now go the opposite way. And then you're gonna do Parmesan cheese, and you're gonna shake your fingers out like this. Now, the next thing to do is you're gonna do C and S. So have your palms up, just right here, elbows by your side, and go C, S, over and over again. You shake it out, C, S, C, S. Shake it out, again. All right, done. You're ready to go. So if you feel warm, you feel like your joints are moving, you're ready to go. This is especially useful in winter where you're like, my hands are so cold, they won't move. Okay, so make sure you do a nice little warm up. You don't want to do it when your hands are cold, and this will really help protect you from injury, okay? Above all else, remember that if you're tired, like if your brain gets tired, usually it's a first signal. If your brain's tired, that means your arms are tired. You just don't realize it, and you just stop. So if your hands start hurting, or the hands get tired, or your brain gets tired, it's time to stop. You'll build up and be able to go for longer as you get better and better, but you have to recognize when it stops, because if you don't, that's when you get injured. Disclaimer done. Here's the activity. Super easy. And then I'm going to explain a second thing you can do as well. So you're going to take the alphabet. You're going to go through all 26 letters doing this. So how you do it is you go A, B, A, C, A, D, A, E, A, F, A, G, A, H. You go all the way from A to Z like that. Then you start over at B, B, A, B, C, B, D, B, E, all the way to Z. C, A, C, B, C, E, C, F, all the way to Z. And you do that with every single letter in the alphabet from A to Z to A to Z, okay? And you obviously stop when you're tired, okay? And you can go as fast or as slow as you need to. You may have to start out slow and then speed up as you get comfortable. It may help you if you have a hard time remembering what letter to do. Just get a scrap of paper and write down the alphabet, and then with your other hand, your non-dominant hand, just follow the letters, like point to each letter as you do it. And so that helps save on some brain activity. I'm all about let's save some brain activity. So there's some things you want to pay attention to when you're doing this activity. Number one, you need to keep your hand steady, okay? Number two, you want to check that you're not making the mistakes that I talked about in the previous video. You can check that out here. I won't repeat the mistakes here, but you can check that out there. So you want to make sure you're not making those mistakes. You catch them and change them as soon as you see them, if you do them, right? And number three, you want to think of what is the target here. The target, the goal is to become smooth from moving from one letter to the next. So if you come up on a letter combination that felt weird or awkward, stop and drill it. So for instance, if you have a hard time going from A to Y, you would go A-Y, 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 until you're like, okay, I get it. And then you move on. So stop if there's an awkward letter combination and drill it. And then move on to the next letter and just keep going through the alphabet again. Your goal is to be smooth and transition easily and quickly from one letter to the next. This is what's going to improve your speed in your finger spelling. So when you're looking at a letter, you want to think, okay, what is the least amount of movement it will take for me to go from A to Y? Well, that's easy. A to Y, all I have to do is pop out this thumb and pop out my pinky. Nothing else in my hand has to change. I don't have to go A, oh gosh, and then open it back up into the Y. I just go A, Y, and I pop those out. And you see how automatically these fingers are here. But as soon as I pop out my thumb and my pinky, the rest of my hand goes into the correct shape. Watch. See? Now, so look, see this flush? Open it up and it automatically pulls it away for me. Okay, another one, if you go B-U-S, if you're gonna like spell bus, for instance, so we're just gonna go B to U, all I have to do is drop these two fingers. I don't have to do anything else. Drop these two fingers and I automatically have a U. All right, so you wanna think in those terms, like what is the least amount of movement that's gonna go from this letter to the next letter. I recommend that you do this drill, not just one time, but do it frequently, especially if you find yourself struggling with your speed or if there's any letter combinations that are giving you trouble. Another thing you can do is to drill common letter combinations like E-A, I-G-H-T. And I'll put a list here on the side of common letter combinations. You might want to pause it, screenshot it, or write them down on a piece of paper or whatever. But these are some really good letter combinations that you can do. Apart from these, you can drill prefixes, suffixes, any other common letter combinations in words that aren't listed here. And that will help you. So if you drill those letter combinations, it'll help you when you go to fingerspell other words. Because remember, you're not just fingerspelling proper nouns like names, titles, street names, city names, countries, whatever. Anything is fair game. Even if it has its own sign, it can be fingerspelled and you will see it fingerspelled. So you'll want to practice all of the words, not just the ones that don't have signs. If you love this tip, be sure to hit the notification bell because in the next video, I'm going to be talking to you about how I overcame my own receptive fingerspelling anxiety and how you can easily overcome your own receptive finger spelling anxiety. And spoiler alert, it's a very common thing. You are not alone. Now, if you're ready to practice some more expressive finger spelling, check out these two videos right here, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!